Arne Ness said that deep ecology is the shallow and the deep, long-range ecology movement. This quote describes a deeper spiritual approach to nature. This deeper approach allows us to be more open and sensitive to ourselves and non-human life. Deep ecology is about always asking questions about human life, nature, and society. Deep ecology is more meditative and goes beyond the factual scientific level to the level of self and earth wisdom. It goes beyond a shallow approach to environmental problems. It articulates a comprehensive religious and philosophical worldview, along with ecological consciousness. Ecological consciousness and deep ecology contrast the technocratic industrial societies that isolate humans from nature. Over time, Western culture has been obsessed with dominance, humans over non-humans, masculinity over femininity, wealthy over poor, Western over non-Western cultures. Deep ecological consciousness allows us to see through the perception of this dangerous illusion. A dominant worldview is centered around maximizing and using natural resources for our destructive consumerist habits. Deep ecology is about minimizing and finding harmony with nature. Deep ecology means reflecting on ourselves. The search for deep ecological consciousness is the search for an objective consciousness and state of active, deep questioning and meditative process as a way of life. Arne Ness developed two ultimate norms which were brought by deep questioning and reveal the importance of moving to philosophical and religious level of wisdom. They are self-realization and biocentric equality. Self-realization is when we cease to see ourselves as isolated and narrow competing egos and begin to identify with other humans. We must go beyond our narrow values and practice meditative, deep questioning and unfolding of oneself. For biocentric equality, all things in the atmosphere have an equal right to live and blossom and to reach their own individual forms of unfolding and self-realization within a larger self-realization. All organisms and entities in the atmosphere are parts of a whole with equal value. The process of living requires all living things to rely on each other, even as mutual predation. Humans are citizens of the biotic community along with other species. We are not rulers over it. Biocentric equality relates to self-realization in a sense that if we harm nature, we are harming ourselves. Everything on Earth is interrelated and there are no boundaries between humans and non-humans. George Sessions and Arne Ness summarized the principles of deep ecology in a way that people from all philosophical and religious backgrounds can understand. Humans have no right to reduce this richness and diversity except to satisfy vital needs. Vital need is a vague term and is defined by each individual person's own needs. Climate factors into what a person may need. People in material-rich countries cannot be expected to reduce their excessive interference with non-human life overnight, much like the reduction and stabilization of human population will take time as well. We are in a serious situation and many people don't realize it. The rate of species extinction will be 10 to 100 times greater than any other point in history. Humans have basic vital needs: food, water, and shelter. But we also have vital needs like love, play, creative expression, relationships with landscapes and each other, along with spiritual growth to become a mature human being. Vital material needs are more simpler than we realize. The consumerism that has taken over our lives are unnecessary and harm our spiritual growth. Deep ecology enthusiasts recognize a life filled with health and high equality natural environments by living a life with minimum waste, minimum smog, and enough wilderness for humans to get in touch with nature. Deep ecologists have a harmony and interconnectedness with nature. A practical application for self-realization and biocentric equality is by living with minimal impact on nature and species. Their fifth basic principle is present human interference with non-human world is excessive, and the situation is rapidly worsening. Humans have and will continue to modify the earth. The issue is nature and the extent of such interference. We must continue to fight for the preservation of wilderness. Many areas that are preserved are not large enough for growth of species they hold, and it is our job to protect those areas. We can all learn from deep ecology. By going through a deep process of meditation and questioning, we can finally understand how we are equal with nature. Everything is interrelated and there are no boundaries. We need to minimize our vital needs and minimize our interference with the non-human world in order to reduce ecological degradation.